Hello guys and gals, it's me, Geoffrey, and today we are doing another creepypasta. And today we're doing a creepypasta that was requested by Bludeuce, and it's called The Disappearance of Ashley, Kansas. Now, I'm gonna read this word for word because this also kind of takes place almost with a little bit of analog horror element, and it's like, this is a really interesting creepypasta that I kind of wanted to read, so yeah, let's get to it. Sometime during the night of August 16, 1952, the small town of Ashley, Kansas ceased to exist. At 3:28 a.m. on August 17, 1952, a magnitude 7.9 earthquake was measured by the United States Geological Survey. The earthquake itself was felt throughout the state and most of the Midwest. The epicenter was determined to be directly under Ashley, Kansas. When state law enforcement arrived at what should have been the outskirts of the farming community, they found a smoldering, burning fissure in the earth measuring 1,000 yards in length and approximately 500 yards in width. The depth of the fissure was never determined. After 12 days, the statewide and local search for the missing 679 residents of Ashley, Kansas was called off by the Kansas state government at 9:15 p.m. on the night of August 29, 1952. All 679 residents were assumed to be dead. At 2:27 a.m. on August 30, 1952, a magnitude 7.5 earthquake was measured by the U.S. Geological Survey. The epicenter was situated at what used to be the location of Ashley, Kansas itself. When law enforcement investigated at 5:32 a.m., they reported that the fissure in the earth had closed completely. In the 8 days leading up to the disappearance of the town and its 679 residents, bizarre and unexplainable events were reported by dozens of residents in Ashley, Kansas, and the law enforcement from the surrounding area. On the evening of August 8, 1952, at 7:13 p.m., a resident by the name of Gabriel Jonathan reported the strange sight in the sky above Ashley. The town itself had no official branch of law enforcement called into the police station of the neighboring town of Hayes. Gabriel reported what appeared to be a small black opening in the sky. Within the next 15 minutes, the Hayes police station became overwhelmed with dozens of police calls, all reporting the same phenomena. The phenomenon was never reported by any neighboring communities. A decision was made to send a trooper to Ashley to investigate the matter of the following morning. At 7:54 a.m. on the morning of August 9, 1952, Hayes police officer Alan Mace radioed the Hayes police station. He reported that despite the following way road leading into Ashley, he had become lost. According to the report, the road continued along its way through its normal path, but somehow ended up back in Hayes. Officer Mace went on to add that the road never curved or bent in any direction. At 9:15 a.m., 7 of the town's 10 police cars were sent to investigate the situation, and all the members of the team came to the same conclusion. The only road leading into Ashley stopped leading into Ashley, but instead just led back to Hayes. The phone calls just continued to pour into the Hayes police station, all reporting that the black opening in the sky continued to grow in size. All callers were advised to remain inside and not to travel outside unless it was absolutely necessary. At 8:17 p.m., Mrs. Elaine Cantor reported to her neighbors that Mr. and Mrs. Milton and their 2 children, Geoffrey and Brooke, missing. According to Miss Cantor's phone call, the Miltons attempted to leave town in their family car earlier in the evening. They never returned. Law enforcement officials from Hayes never reported that the car or the individuals were coming up the one-way road. At 7:38 a.m. on the morning of August 10, 1952, phone calls from Ashley into the Hayes police station reported that the town was in total darkness. The sun never risen, and at 10:15 a.m., at the request of Hayes law enforcement, a helicopter from Topeka, Kansas, flew over the region in which Ashley, Kansas stood, where the town was never observed from the air. At 12:43 p.m. on the afternoon of August 11, 1952, Miss Phoebe Danielewski, I'm sorry if I butchered that, called into the police station reporting that her daughter Erica had begun to have conversations with her dad, who died 3 years prior in a drunk driving accident. To add the concern, she reported that Erica was attempting to go outside into the dark to join them. Over the course of the next 12 hours, a reported 329 people of phone calls were placed into the Hayes police station, all describing similar phenomena with the children of the town. Following morning of August 12, 1952, the situation became dire. During the middle of the night, all 217 children in the town of Ashley, Kansas had disappeared completely. All report of 421 phone calls were placed into the department. Unable to find any useful assistance, Hayes law enforcement instructed all callers to remain indoors and avoid any or all attempts to find the missing children. And at 5:19 p.m. on the evening of August 13, 1952, Ashley elderly man Scott Luntz reported the growing, distant fire to the south. According to the description, the fire seemed to be turning the distant black into a bright red and orange that seemed to extend high into the sky. Though throughout the rest of the day, calls continued in and out, saying the fire, in addition to moving north, now started to come back out of the black sky. No fire was ever witnessed by any of these neighboring communities or law enforcement officials, though. The reports continued until 12:09 a.m., midnight, on the morning of August 14, 1952. The last phone call placed by a Mr. Benjamin Endicott reported that the flames in the sky had grown so intense that it began to appear as daytime over the town. The phone call ended abruptly. Benjamin said, "Just hold on, wait." There was continued silence. Yeah, I see something. It's to the south. It looks like..." Phone call ended after that. The next phone call wouldn't be placed until the following evening. The continue is the entire transcript of the final phone call to be received by the Hayes Police Department out of Ashley, Kansas. It was placed at 9:46 p.m. on the evening of August 15, 1952. In this recorded phone call, the officer on duty is Officer Peter Welsh. The caller has been identified as Miss April Foster. Hayes Police Department. Hello? Foster? Yes, hello. Ma'am, who am I speaking with? My name is April. April Foster. Please, sir. Please, help me. What was happening, ma'am? Last night they came back. Ma'am, I'm going to need you to... Last night they came back. Ma'am, I'm going to need you to calm down and speak clearly. What happened? Who came back? Everyone. Everyone? They all came in the fire. What do you mean, everyone? My son. I saw my son last night. He was walking down the street. He was burned. Jesus Christ, he was burned. Ma'am, he died last year. I raised him since he was a baby. It was just me and him. I told him to watch for cars when he rode his bike, but he never wanted to listen. Ma'am, what you're saying isn't making any sense. You said everyone came back. Are you fucking listening to me? Everyone came back. Everyone who died or went missing, they're back and they're looking for us. He said, Mom, I'm okay now. See, I can walk again. Where are you, Mom? I want to see you. Ma'am, where are you now? Are you safe? I'm hiding, just like everyone else. We saw them coming through the fields, and some people opened the doors for them. God, the screaming, just like... I don't know what happened to them, but their house had just caught fire and they caved in. I have my curtains drawn. I'm hiding in the closet right now, and... Ma'am, is everything okay? You alright? Ma'am? The glass broke soon. Oh my God. Ma'am, are you there? Someone just came in. Ma'am, just stay as quiet as you can. Just do not make a sound. Mom? He came inside. Stay absolutely still. Do not leave. Mom, where are you hiding? Stay quiet. I found you, Mom. Indiscernible screaming and noise was heard. Ma'am? Ma'am? The phone call ended after that. The following morning at 6:55 a.m., the law enforcement officials of the Hays Police Department arrived at the local location of Ashley, Kansas. A smoldering, burning fissure in the earth was all that remained. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the disappearance of Ashley, Kansas. Now, this is a really interesting creepypasta for the way of how, like, the first part of it is told in a narrative style, and then the second part, which is like where we get to the climax, it's sort of like almost like we get to know how the call went, you know, regarding to like one of the calls to the department. And it kind of gave me like the vibe of reading an analog horror story. So granted aside, I'm trying to see if the Ashley, Kansas is a real place, and so far I don't see any official, like, you know, things called related to Ashley and Kansas, meaning this, it's safe to assume that this, you know, town of Kansas, or this specific part of Kansas, never really even existed. But it makes me question, how did it disappear like that from fire? And how did those people that had disappeared before the other people vanish? Like, what drew them to go outside and just vanish without a trace? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this was like a conspiracy theory, like compared to things like Slender Man or, I don't know, like freaking Purple Light bullcrap, whatever. But, yeah, it raises questions, like, but it's like, this creepypasta doesn't have the blood cliche, which is pretty surprising because you don't really need blood or gore just to make things scary. Just a creepy experience like this, just, you know, to understand what's going on. And to be honest, this one didn't use that blood or gore cliche, just a creepy experience that kind of gives the reader a understanding or comprehension that what happened to this area, like what happened to Ashley, the town of Ashley that is in the state of Kansas. Like, honestly, I never really know. It's like almost if like that entire like area just like completely got Thanos all off the center of the earth, like as if Thanos had snapped his fingers, like, I'll just take out this place, like, just like that. And it's like, okay, what did that achieve? Anyways, tell me if you like this creepypasta. What do you think would make it better? Like, share, comment, subscribe, and, yeah, I'll see you on the next creepypasta. This is Geoffrey Samberski, signing out.